In this video, we're going to talk about the divisibility test for 4 and 8. I have to admit that I didn't really know the divisibility test for 4 and 8 before doing our bookwork and assignment. And to be honest, Common Core goes from 2, 5, and 10 to 4 and 8. I'm not sure why they go to 4 and 8, but they do. All right, so here's how the test works. For dividing by 4, you look at the last two digits. Okay. And when you look at the last two digits, if those are divisible by 4, then the whole thing is. All right. Whew. Okay. So look at the last two digits. If they're divisible by 4, then the whole number is. So why don't I go ahead and just try one of those before I go to the test for 8. Okay. So if I had, let's say, for example, just a 2-digit number, and let's say that 2-digit number was the number 24. We know that 24 is divisible by 4. Agree? Agree. Okay, so what this is saying is that we had something like 924. This rule is saying we just look at the last two digits. And if those last two digits are a multiple of 4, or divisible by 4, then the whole number is. So that means that this would be, yes, divisible by 4. Okay. Similarly, if I had something like, I don't know, let's say I had 36. We know that 36 is divisible by 4. So here, if I had 1,836, again, this would still be, yes, divisible by 4 because the last two digits of 36 are divisible by 4. Now, if the last two digits were like the number 2, 4 doesn't divide 2. 2 is not a multiple of 4. So even though this number might look like this number I just made up might look like it's divisible by 4, this is saying no, if those last two digits are not divisible by 4, then that means the whole number isn't divisible by 4. Okay, now, divisible by 8. It's the last 3 digits. Okay, so if I look at the last 3 digits and those are divisible by 8, then the whole number is. My only real problem with this is that to do 3-digit division, you're probably going to be using a calculator. And if you're using a calculator, you could just divide the whole gigantic number. But we're going to go ahead and practice this idea. So here, if I look at the number 924, I might be curious, is this divisible by 8? And is 1,836 divisible by 8? And is this divisible by 8? So in order to be divisible by 8, I would have to look at 3 digits. 3 digits and 3 digits. Are you guys seeing how this is a lot more disgusting? It is a little bit gross, right? Okay, so let me try some easier ones and then I'll come back to this guy. So I'm going to come back to this one right here. We'll test it. Okay. All right. So think about multiples of 8. And 24 is a multiple of 8. So this number right here, my last 3 digits were 0, 2, 4. This is divisible by 8. So what that's saying is that the front could be anything. It could be the number 765. So we could have 765,024. And I know it's divisible by 8 because of those last 3 digits are divisible by 8. Let's try another easy one. If I had 016, I know that that's divisible by 8. So again, the front of the line could be gigantic or not that big. Okay. So we can see here's an example where this test is easy as long as, honestly, this is a 0 and then these are just 2 digits. Well, let's go back to our 924. The only way I'm going to know if this is divisible by 8 is to actually divide it. So I would have to go 924 divided by 8. It goes in once. Goes in once again. And then it looks like it's not going to work. This would need to be a multiple of 8. So this would need to be 40 or 48, and this is not happening. So this is a no. This is not divisible by 8. Okay. What about this guy? 1,836. Is 836 divisible by 8? Nope. So I made up 2 examples that are divisible by 4, but not divisible by 8. But these are examples that are divisible by 8. All right, hang in there. We've got 2 more tests to do. We're going to talk about divisibility by 3 and 9 next.